is the Retro Smash Gaming Podcast. Wherever you are, wherever you may be listening, thank you so much for joining us. You can catch us on Twitter at retro_smashed, a bi-weekly podcast where two old friends hang out, drink beer, and talk old school video games. I am Weldy Time. You can catch me on Twitch at the same name, Weldy Time, streaming every Sunday through Thursday around 8 p.m. whenever my damn internet wants to cooperate. Thank you, Hometown ISP. The gentleman sitting across from me, the man, the myth, the legend, a gentleman who buys both utilities in Monopoly, and that's it. He is Eric. Eric, how are you, sir?
What's going on, guys? What's going on, guy? Yes, you're right here.
Yeah.
Saying hi to our audience.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, I'm not good enough anymore.
Well, it felt weird, though, because we really don't have too much of an audience.
That is true.
Hey, your whole spiel sounded pretty rehearsed. You practiced that in the mirror?
I did.
It would sound nice.
I had nothing else to do this week. So, speaking of having nothing else to do this week, what are we talking about this week?
We are... Which episode are we doing? We are.
What are we doing?
I got this.
This was absolutely pre-rehearsed. You know that, right?
We are doing our top 7 360 games.
I can't count that high. But I can't count to...
Hey, I saw you were playing Donkey Kong Country on stream.
Yes.
How'd that go?
Disastrously. Thanks for asking.
Because I know you're not a big fan of that game.
I am a fan of that game. It's just I've never sat down and like really did a full dive into it. I don't know which one like is the best. They all play pretty much the same. You know, there's quirks about each one, but they are really hard. I mean,
they are, and they're all really good games too.
And they are, from what I've seen. You know, nice, colorful. For the first real kind of delve into more of a 3D graphic style for the Super Nintendo, it looks pretty crisp.
2 is the best, by the way.
Is it?
Without a doubt.
I heard it's the hardest as well. And I also heard it's the most fun.
Do you have games that when you played them as a kid, you didn't think they were that hard, but now playing them as an adult, you're like, holy shit, that's kind of hard. I think Donkey Kong might be one of those. And the game we talked about last week, too. Zombies.
Yeah, well, it took me a couple times for Zombies, but I played that enough when I was a kid that it just all came back to me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not that I'm kind of strutting my stuff here, because I've just noticed past couple months, and I've talked to you about this, people are saying that Zombies Ate by Neighbors is one of the hardest games on the Super Nintendo, and I never realized it. It was just a game that I thought was super fun, and I loved it enough, I just kind of trudged through it.
Yeah, it is super fun, but it's also super hard.
Right.
But you're saying it's not super hard, coming from somebody who beat the game multiple times.
Holla at your boy.
How many times?
I think I probably beat it over the course of about 10 years. I think I probably beat it 7 to 8 times.
And, it's a lot.
Yeah,
and the most neighbors you've had left is 7?
No, God. No, the most neighbors I've had left is 3.
Oh, wow.
The most neighbors I've ever had is... No, I'm sorry. It's either 4 or 3. It's one of those two. It's either 4 or 3. That's the most neighbors I've ever had. And you never win. It's just like Cleveland Brown says, you never win. You just do a little better each time.
Did you beat it when you streamed it?
It took me a few times. It took me my 4th time I streamed it. I beat it. The first time I streamed it, I died at level 38. The first time you face Dr. Tongue as the giant spider. Then the second or third time I streamed it, I died at the final level where he's the spider. So I died there again. And then I played it again and realized what I, missed. And I had a couple lucky pickups and I was able to pull it off.
Talking about streaming with your Twitch, you want to talk about what just happened?
Oh yeah, your boy got his first payout. It took me 13 months. And it's funny because even if I didn't get paid, I'd still stream. And so I've met a lot of cool people, doing this. And really, it's like, yeah, cool. I have people subscribing and dropping bits and stuff. That's awesome. But when people just come into my chat just to shoot the shit, that's the best. Like, I had a bunch of people when I was playing Earthbound. I'd never played Earthbound before. I had people come into my chat like, oh my God, I love this game. I remember playing this when I was a kid, and we got to talking about it, and they drop a follow, and then, they come back into the following games that I'm playing. It's just kind of that, developing that rapport with, your friends that you're on there before, people that have been loyal people to you, and all new people too, all your new followers. So you get kind of a mixed bag, but it's all totally worth it.
It's awesome, man. I'm happy for you.
Thank you. I mean, like I said, and even if I never got paid for it, I'd still do it. People are like, well, what if you do get big? You get to quit your job. I'm like, obviously, yeah, that's the dream. I'd be stupid to say no.
Yeah, that's what you're building towards.
Right, yeah. But, I mean, it's not going to be built in a day. I mean, even the biggest streamers ever took them 4 to 5 years to get where they're at. But, well, it's like I told people. My dad always told me I was never going to make any money sitting around playing video games all day.
This is the first step of getting where you want. Well, not the first step. It's a big benchmark.
It is.
To where you want to be.
It is.
I'm proud of you, dude.
Thank
Congratulations.
you, I appreciate it. It's, like I say, it's if it wasn't for the people just coming in and watching or dropping bits or dropping subs and, and not even that. You don't have to come in and drop anything. Just coming in and just shooting the shit while I'm playing an old school game and just sucking at it.
So I did not know this, but apparently if you have Amazon Prime, you get 1 sub for free.
You're going to butter me up, aren't you? Yes.
No, that's not where I'm taking this.
I think, well, it's a weird coincidence. It's a very weird coincidence.
So I obviously then subbed you. What do you get for that?
You get my one emo.
No. What do you get for that?
I don't really know. I think it's the one. I think it's one where like Amazon will pay for your Prime for the month or for your sub for the month. You get the tier 1, and they'll pay for it, and you get 1 free one. I gotta go back and look to see what it actually gives the streamer, but
I don't know much about Twitch.
Mm-hmm.
So when you sub and it's like $3.99 or whatever, does that money go to you?
Yes. Does all of it go to me right now? Yes. Should it all go to me? No.
You're saying Twitch is going to take their cut?
I think they take like 50% cut, but
how much?
I think it's 50%. Ooh. But I was like, I'm never gonna. Once I start getting enough to where if they come at me for like my recent payout was just a little. I'll be a little candid here. My last payout was a little over 100. If they're gonna come at me at tax time for $50, that's on them. I mean, I'll gladly pay it then, but I just never thought I was ever going to be paid ever. I was just doing it for fun. I was like, I actually had forgot there was a concept of being paid on that site because I'd been streaming for so long and never made any progress. So it was kind of an interesting concept that one day I'm on my email and I get a blurb that says, "Hey, your payout's tomorrow." And I went, "Holy shit! I forgot about that. I forgot that's a possibility." But I had never set it to where, yeah, go ahead and take half of it because it might be another 13 months until my next one. So
it's not going to be a monthly thing?
No. Well, because they only pay you out after you have accumulated over $100.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, if I have 20 tier 1 subs over the course of a month, they'll pay every 45 days, but they'll pay me $100 because I've accumulated more than 100. But because I have between 6 and 8 subs and people dropping bits and I get my 1 cent ad revenue every time an ad plays.
Yeah, I was going to ask you where the money comes from.
I get 1 whole cent every time an ad plays on my channel. And then the subs are, $3 to $5 a piece. And then anybody that drops bits, it just accumulates. And then once it gets to 100, when you get to that next 45-day mark, that's when it goes into your account.
Nick won't say this because he's too humble.
I am.
But if you have Amazon Prime and you are not using your free sub for the month, check somewhere else. Okay.
No, there we go. That's the Eric I've always known and loved.
Check out Weldy Time, and if you like him, use your free sub there.
And if you don't, use it anyway. I mean, it was kind of funny because I was talking with these guys about using free subs, and then you go on Twitch and there's chicks in hot tubs because apparently that's a thing now. That's been the hot commodity the past couple months, and nobody's going to be watching me play Sim City when you got Daisy over here in a hot tub.
Have you thought about taking off your shirt?
I have.
Have you done it?
I have not. I mean, I want to gain viewers. I don't want to lose them. I also don't want the homeowners association to call me anymore.
Can we use that as what do you call them? Channel rewards?
And yeah, you can get channel rewards.
Will taking your shirt off be one of them?
Oh God, no. I have put shaved beard.
What's a ridiculous number? 100,000? Is that a lot?
100,000 would be a lot because you get, I think,
So let's say 250,000 channel points and Weldy will take off his shirt.
250,000. That have to be like people doing a combination thing, because you can do individually, or I can do like a combination reward where people will pool their points, and I can do something extravagant like that. Like I can do a hot tub stream or something like that.
I'm saying you fight fire with fire, and if that's your competition, then you should just equal it.
I don't know if chicks in hot tubs is my competition. I feel like that's. I mean, it's apples to oranges, but God, those oranges are huge. I had to do that while you were taking a drink, and it worked. I was gonna say, don't spit all over your keyboard. But yeah, I mean, even if you don't want to drop a sub, or if you don't want to drop any bits or anything, you're more than welcome to come by and just say hi. I listen to the podcast. You're okay.
We're just shooting for mediocre at this point.
Hey, I will take mediocre. But yeah, I'm doing it to hang out with people and talk games. I had a guy come in and we were talking Super Metroid, and he taught me how to do a trick that only like the top tier speedrunners can do.
That's that, like pixel perfect jump you were showing me?
Yes, the CWJ. He taught me how to do that. He taught me how to do the CWJ live on stream, and I hit it like 2 or 3 times. And
I've seen that jump. That looks pretty hard.
Yeah, and the fact that somebody, was kind enough to come into my stream and like, oh, you know how to, first he was like, oh, you know how to wall jump, so you obviously know what you're doing. And he's like, by the way, do you know how to do this?
What, is that the cutoff? Like, if you know how to wall jump, you know what you're doing in the game.
Well, you mean you've attempted it, and you've attempted wall jumping. I've seen your attempts at wall jumps. You have to. You have to be able to do it. I mean, I'm trying to think of when it actually gets to a point where you have to know how to wall jump. Actually, I really don't know. That's a good question.
Right, so when are you going to get me on stream and we're going to do our drunk playthrough?
The drunk designated driver.
Yes.
You see, I gotta check like the terms. You know what? If chicks can be on there in bikinis, surely I can drink on stream. I think they say you don't drink, be belligerently drunk, and play. So I may loophole it.
Right, you're not playing.
That's
I would
right.
be playing.
That's exactly right. I'll be drunk or drinking, and you'll be the one playing.
Twitch, I'm not drunk. I'm just drinking.
I'm not. Don't shoot him now. I told him I was straight up going to be singing. Oh boy, what did I tell you? I was going to be singing some old school country song. Like she came from Fort Worth by Patti LaBelle. While you're fighting like Kraid or Ridley, and you're like screaming, "Help me! I don't know what to do." She came from Fort Worth. Just like, shut up and help me. I'm just waiting for that moment.
Has become tradition, I have a game for you.
Ooh, go on.
Actually, before we get into that, we put up the Twitter poll on who had the best console launch draft.
Yes.
It tied.
Again?
So again. So what I want to do is, when we have these little games, there's a little competition between me and you. I want there to be some sort of punishment. If they keep tying, then nobody could be punished.
Right. And I've been trying, I think my problem is I haven't been retweeting it on my personal Twitter handle at WeldyTime1. But
so what if instead of doing a punishment later down the road, we do one right now? What? It's not going to be much. Okay, so I have this game called Game or Not. I have 7 game titles, and you need to tell me if it's an actual 360 game,
yes,
or if it's just a made-up game.
I love this game because they played a variation on one of our local rock stations. Only it's about like Canadian porn titles.
Oh God!
It's either, I think they called it it was porn titles, and they were either banned or allowed. And they gave the porn title, and if the porn was banned, you had to say banned. But if it was allowed in the United States, you had to say allowed. So I love these kind of games. All
right, Mrs. Weldy, stop listening for like 2 minutes really quick. Okay, it's really not much. But so I have 7 games. If you get 4 correct, you win. If you get 3 or less, I win.
Okay, so yeah. a real, legit 360 game.
Correct.
Okay. All right, and I got to get 4 out of 7.
If you win, I'll take a shot. If you win, you get it.
I guess I'll take a shot. Sure.
All right.
Ooh, let's go. Oh, you got the peanut butter stuff?
Screwball peanut butter whiskey.
Totally not an ad.
But if you want to reach out, Screwball, please reach out. I love this shit.
Also totally not an ad, but totally is an ad. All right. Ooh, let's rock and roll. 4 out of 7. Let's make it happen.
Lollipop Chainsaw.
Ooh, that actually is a real legit game. That's a legit game, right?
You know this? Are you asking me? I'm asking you.
I think that's a legit game. I'm going to say that's real. Because if I remember, there's a game of something like that. I don't know if it's that exact title, but it's about this basically cheerleader-looking chick that just runs around and just kills a whole bunch of undead shit, if I remember that right. I'm going to say it's a real game.
You are correct.
Yay!
Overflowing with sex, blood, and rock and roll, Lollipop Chainsaw is an undeadly story of a sweet killer zombie hunter and her mission to uncover the root of a widespread zombie outbreak. With her wickedly effective chainsaw in tow, Juliet slices and dices her way through waves of the undead, but quickly realizes the horde is only the opening act to a festival of zombie rock lords determined to kill the chainsaw-toting cheerleader.
That is a fucking great description. Whoever wrote that needs a raise.
I think it was just on Wikipedia or something.
Well, again, whoever wrote that needs a raise or needs their $3 that Wikipedia keeps asking me for.
All right, so you're 1 for 1.
Sweet.
Next up, we have The Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai Across the 8th Dimension.
Buckaroo. No, that's a fake.
That's a fake?
That's a fake.
You're correct. That's a fake.
Huzzah.
That is actually a 1984 movie with John Lithgow and Jeff Goldblum.
Oh my God. Really?
Really?
God. That's awesome.
2 for 2.
Sweet.
All right. Next up, we got Mr. Gigglepants.
No way. That's fake.
God damn, you're good at this game.
Yes.
All right, I pulled this one from a board game called Gigglepants.
How do you play Gigglepants?
You take turns gathering colorful shapes as you move around the game board. If you land on a space with a Gigglepants character, you have to actually put on a pair of pants, Gigglepants, over your own clothes before the time runs out, and you get to pick a shape. Collect all 6 shapes, and you win the game.
Dude, I'm like a 3X in shorts anyway. I'm not getting a whole hell of a lot of more pants on than I have now.
All right, let's keep this thing moving.
All right,
3 for 3.
All right, we're not gonna Golden State 2016 this. Let's go.
You pitching perfect game.
No, don't jinx it. Don't jinx it. Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
Ninjas versus the Mafia.
That sounds too good to be real. That is a fake game.
You're correct.
Yes.
What is that? That's 4. Let me just score the shot now.
Go for it.
Okay, Ninjas versus the Mafia. In high school, I took a computer class.
Yes.
And we were doing Flash animation. So we had to make like a little movie in Flash. And mine was a movie that I made up called Ninjas versus the Mafia.
Oh, really? You need to pitch that to Konami. That'd be a really cool concept for a game, though. Like, really. All right.
So Nick got 4. I'm taking a shot. Little does Nick know.
Okay. All right.
All right, let's see if you can get the perfect game here.
Let's do it.
Naughty Bear, Panic in Paradise.
Naughty Bear, Panic in Paradise. Oh. There's been quite a few games with, like, bears as the main character. That is one that...
What are you looking at over there? You got your phone?
No, I'm
Googling Naughty Bear, Panic in Paradise.
No, I'm watching the Reds game. I got the Red score up.
All right, salute.
Oh my God, that's good.
It's smooth when you first take the shot.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a little burn after.
See, my taste still isn't all the way here, so there's no burn.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but it's scary.
Dream. Lucky you.
No, not lucky me, because I tried drinking tequila a little after I caught COVID, like 3 days after I tested positive. I was at home by myself. I like chugged tequila, and I was like, no, I have to put this back.
I don't see the problem.
I could die.
All good things. All good things.
No, I could die. I'm not. And I was already not in the best of shape either.
All right, so where are we at with Naughty Bear Panic in Paradise?
Okay, that's one that sounds almost too fake. I'm going to say that's a real game.
That's a real game.
Yes! Let's go.
The other bears are going on vacation and didn't invite Naughty. Enraged at not being invited, Naughty hunts each of them down and end their lives one by one.
Oh my god. Because he didn't get invited to vacation.
Damn, Naughty.
Shit, where the hell were they going?
That's Naughty.
Ooh.
You're 5 for 5, man. This is impressive.
Where were they going on vacation?
I don't know. It's some tropical island, it looked like. I think it was an arcade game.
They were going to Bermuda.
Number 6.
Let's do it.
Fancy Pants Adventures.
Oh. That is, I'm going to go with my first instinct. My first instinct told me that's a fake game.
That's the first one you missed.
Oh, no!
Fancy Pants Adventures is a real game. The Fancy Pants Adventures cast players in the role of the game's hero, a hand-drawn stick figure named Fancy Pants Man, who embarks on a mission to rescue his kidnapped sister, Cutie Pants.
Nice. That's a real game.
That's a real game.
Dang, I almost had it. I'll take the dub, but everybody loves the no-hitter. So, all right.
Last up.
Let's do it.
Blade Kitten.
Blade Kitten? Boy. People had a thing for kittens when the 360 was super popular about 10 years ago. Kittens were all the rage. They were on those like demotivational and motivational posters. Remember those?
Yeah, all the YouTube videos.
The ones that say hang in there. It's just a cat hanging from the tree.
Right above the dentist chair.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yuck. I'm going to say that is too fake to be fake. I'm going to say that's a real game.
It's a real game.
Yeah, 6-1. Hooray.
Ladies and gentlemen, 6 out of 7.
Whoosh.
Insert audience clapter.
Clapter? Clapter?
Clapping. What's the word?
You said clapter.
I know what I said.
I think you tried to mix laughter and clapping, and you made clapter.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Don't you know? You don't get to cut. You don't get to cut this, you son of a bitch.
I edit this shit. I can cut whatever I want.
You don't get to cut this.
I do. Ladies and gentlemen, insert whatever.
Yes. Make sure y'all clapter for me. All right. So
6 for 7.
Hooray.
6 for 7. Nicely done.
That's the first game I've won. That's the first game I've won since we started this. Sweet. So I think my overall record is what? 1-3. So we are through the appetizers. Main course. What are we going back to again?
360 games.
Ooh.
We're doing our top 7 360 games.
Yes. All right.
I have not played the 360 in years.
Really?
Yeah.
Some of these I haven't played in years. Some of these I've played recently, but I kind of made my top list based on like how many hours I plugged into these games. And I'm talking hours and hours and hours and hours I plugged into them. That's kind of how I crafted my list. Did you do something kind of similar, or did you just go like with what you love?
No, I think I probably did more just what I loved and ranked them from like best to least favorite.
Gotcha. Okay.
So, what did you think about the 360 in general?
I mean,
it's a good system. It's got a pretty deep library.
I will say I went from playing the PS2 all those years, which I always thought was my favorite console. You don't kill 2 PlayStation 2s without telling somebody you love it. I killed 2 or 3 of those PS2s. That's how much I played it. But I went straight from that to the 360, and man, it was just a whole new world. It really, really was. I mean, you just controller size, graphics, online gameplay, just overall interface, just the way it just processed. It was just beautiful across the board.
I think a lot of people probably made that jump from the PS2 to the 360. I did as well, but I also had a PS3.
Oh, you're one of those guys. Yeah. I never had the PS. I never had anything above the PS2. So
honestly, man, I don't really like. There are good games on the PS3, but as a whole, I think 360 just kicked its ass.
It's a lot of it was like the reason that the original. Well, I should say the reason that PS2 sold so well because everything was backwards compatible. once they started picking and choosing what was going to be backwards compatible, I think that's where they kind of fell off. I mean, do you agree? Or
I would really have to think about it.
I mean, because I had a PS1.
Like, what are we saying that's not backwards compatible?
I mean, even going to from the 360 to the One, I mean, they started picking and choosing what was like. Wasn't the PS3 one of the biggest problems? Was there wasn't a whole lot of backwards compatibility, and they fixed that with the 4? Or am I thinking that wrong?
So with the PS3, there's some models that are backwards compatible.
Okay, that's
like,
what it was.
It's like the really shiny PS3. Then there's like the flat black one. The shiny one.
That was the OG, right?
I'm pretty sure.
Because that was a big issue a lot of people had, and that was a lot of the questions they had too. Like, screw graphics, screw online gameplay. Was it backwards compatible? Can I play all my old games on it? And all the games I had on my original PlayStation, and then started accumulating for the PS2. I had an all-in-one console, and the 360 played movies. So it was like the all-in-one entertainment center.
So the 360 came out when we were in high school. So we weren't really old enough when like the Super Nintendo and the N64 was out. Do you think people were bitching that it wasn't backwards compatible? Like the N64 coming out, you think they were bitching that Super Nintendo wasn't backwards compatible?
Well, I mean, when the cartridges are different sizes and shapes, I mean...
Yeah, but they don't need to be. Like the Super Nintendo and the N64, they're both top loaders, unlike the NES, where
that you fed to the front,
right? And only one certain type thing is going to fit in there.
Well, the revolutionary thing about the Super Nintendo was they made adapters that you could play both. Didn't they make one for NES game? I know they had one. They had the Super Game Boy, where you could play Game Boy games through your Super Nintendo, which I thought was absolutely just bananas. I thought that was bonkers. I don't know if they had one for the NES capabilities or not. I have to go back and look. At least I don't remember seeing one. At least not until we were older and the Retron started becoming a thing. But
Nintendo, like, how do I say it? They find their thing and they stick to it.
Yeah, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
So
until you get to the Wii, and then you flip the entire fucking thing upside down. Really,
Nintendo does their own thing. I'm glad they do.
Right,
because they can, with their games library, like it's good, but you don't need the ultra 4K HD shit. You know what I mean?
Well, they had the quintessential lineup. They have the quintessential game lineup, which I think, sidebar, with the new Steam Deck that got announced this week,
$399.
That's hefty. But man, you want to talk about somebody that just, like, when it comes to handheld systems, recently, like, the Switch was king, and then somebody, like, popped up from the ground, like Michael Jackson on the Thriller tour, comes up from the fucking ground with the smoke and the lights and just drops gigantic balls out and says, "Here, take it or leave it."
So my point is that Nintendo does what Nintendo wants to do.
Right.
They don't have backwards compatibility with their shit. I mean, with the DS and 3DS, like, you could play the Game Boy Advance games.
Right.
I think with the 3DS. I know with the DS you can.
I know a lot of the question, and I know what you're saying, like back to the Xbox 360, there was a lot of backwards compatibility there, which people who had original Xboxes, may have stuck to it. But there was also better games that were just exclusive to the Xbox 360. And I have a couple of those on my top 7 list that just made for hours and hours of entertainment. It really did. So do you want to just jump headfirst into it?
Yeah, let's jump into it.
Do you want? I guess you have home field advantage. You want to go first?
I got the list in front of me.
You got the list in front of you? Okay.
7.
Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3.
Ooh, okay.
I am not a big story mode guy.
Sure.
I mainly play games just for the gameplay.
Sure.
I remember the story mode in this being good, but mostly I played the survival mode where you just got waves of enemies coming at you.
Mm-hmm.
You got the different weapons you can unlock, build your loadout and whatnot.
Was this the one with no Russian that was the controversial scene that it was cut out of one of the Modern Warfare games? Or was that 2?
I don't know.
I think it was Modern Warfare 2. The one where you basically mowed down on the civilians in the Russian airport.
Oh, yeah. I don't remember which one that was.
But I think it was Modern Warfare 2. I was just curious because you talk about story mode for one of the Call of Duties. I wanted to see which was the controversial one.
Again, I didn't play this mainly for the story mode. It was all survival, and this is really what got me into Call of Duty.
Sure,
was the 2 as well, but I quickly got out of it because I really don't like Call of Duty.
I remember,
especially now. I'm not a big multiplayer online kind of guy.
Right. I remember sitting at a Best Buy at midnight the day Modern Warfare 2 came out with you.
I remember that. Yep.
Yes, and it was freezing.
Yep.
It was freezing. I think you took it home and you played it for an hour and you're like, you're just like, nah.
Do you think waiting outside would magically make the game good?
Well, you wouldn't be waiting if you didn't think it was already going to be good.
I can't tell the future, bro.
That's fair.
What's your number 7?
My number 7, I had my obligatory sports game on my list here at this spot, and I couldn't decide between the two, so I put them both on here. It's my list. Screw you. My list. I put Madden 11 and NCAA 13.
11's one with Palomalu. Oh,
that's one with Breeze on the cover.
Palomalu and Fitzgerald was 10.
That was 10.
Okay.
Yeah, and just because I'm a big Saints fan, I played the hell out of Madden 11 because that was the game where the Saints were the best. They were the best team. So, just hours and hours and hours of just winning Super Bowl after Super Bowl with the Saints.
See, we were in high school when the 360 came out. Maybe not out, but around that time when it was big, we were in high school.
Right.
We were playing a shit ton of sports games on it.
Yes. So I feel like not having a sports game on here would be just absolutely ludicrous. But NCAA 13, like that, they had like the ESPN light. Like if you're not into college football, you can basically just cut out the next like 30 seconds of my rant and just kind of, get a drink or go to the bathroom. But man, if you want that ultimate college football experience with like ESPN, Saturday night, under the lights, the gameplay, the pressure, the atmosphere, the way it looks on TV, and the way it plays is super smooth, along with like the mascot modes, which makes it super fun. NCAA 13 was just fantastic for me.
6.
Number 6, I have Tony Hawk American Wasteland.
Ooh.
You played this?
I played a little bit of it.
Did you like it?
It was different. It was different because I grew up with Pro Skater 2, which I thought was one of my favorite games ever. And then kind of going to this, it was just, I was an old man about this. I was very get off my lawn about it. It was just too different for me. It was good. It was just different.
I grew up on Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2, just like you.
Mm-hmm.
American Wasteland's still probably my favorite.
Really?
It is. Because you still get the feel of skating around and, doing all the tricks and shit.
Right.
But you have that open world feel too.
See, I didn't know that. That's actually a cool concept.
I need to get my hands on a copy of this.
Good luck.
What do you have for number 6?
My 6 is the original Modern Warfare, Call of Duty 4, the OG Modern Warfare.
Why does that one stick out to you more than any of the others?
It was the first one that I felt like first-person shooter-wise was just fast, super slick gameplay. And of course, it was my second big delve into online multiplayer games. And that's one that I think, like I said, that's one I played the story mode once or twice. But hours and hours and hours of multiplayer trying to rank up.
Yeah, nobody's playing those fucking games for the story mode.
Exactly. And you were just saying that, but this is definitely one of them that you didn't play for the story mode. You played for the online multiplayer.
5.
My number 5 is GTA 5.
Ooh, okay.
This isn't my favorite GTA game.
Right, I remember you saying that, yeah.
It's not even my second favorite GTA game.
Really? Wow.
It's my third favorite. Behind San Andreas and Vice City.
Oh, you like Vice City better than you like 5. Okay.
I have a long history of GTA games. I remember being, I don't know, man, like 13, somewhere around there, getting my first PS2.
Mm-hmm.
And my grandma bought me Grand Theft Auto San Andreas.
Okay, time out. You were how old?
Probably 13.
That's awesome.
And I am sitting in her front room with my grandma and my aunt sitting right there watching me play San Andreas.
Picking up hookers. And
fucking killing hookers.
Don't kill hookers, friends. This is your PSA.
Yeah, please don't do that. They're nice people.
They are nice people. Actually, I don't know if they are nice people at all if my wife is listening.
We're assuming. We saw it on TV.
That's right. I saw it in a game once that apparently Eric was playing when he was 13.
Have you played this? You played through it?
I got about 12 hours in. It felt different. And again, it's just me being very old man Weldy.
Is it the switching characters?
No, I mean I can deal with that. It just had a kind of a weird feel, and it's like I said, I liked 3 and 4. Spoiler alert. I liked 3 and 4 better. I just like Liberty City better. Like just the very big town, kind of dreary, rainy kind of feel. Just big city, no big open, beautiful landscape. I kind of like that kind of Grand Theft Auto better.
See, I didn't like 4 too much because of that. Because it's set in Liberty City.
Really?
Everything feels so cramped. And yeah, I only played through 4 once.
Yeah.
It's on my honorable mention.
Ooh, okay.
I need to play through it again. I have it sitting over there for, I think, 360.
I mean,
it's somewhere over there.
The story mode's okay. I mean, going around doing all the other fun stuff is cool. But yeah, I'll get to GTA here. Spoiler alert. Here in a moment.
Your number 5 is higher up on my list, so we're going to punt and talk about that later.
Okay.
4.
Sticking with, I don't even know what to call it. I had GTA 5 for number 5.
Mm-hmm.
For number 4, I have Left 4 Dead.
Ah, I see what you did there.
This is probably the first game I played on the 360.
Is it really?
I think so.
Wow.
I don't have a good memory for that type of shit, but I think so.
The early 2010s weren't good for either one of us.
I really played this with the survival mode. You could probably see a reoccurring theme on my list.
Right.
It's either multiplayer, where, and really like couch co-op, or, well, my number 1 isn't really so much couch co-op, but we played a lot of couch co-op, and it'll make sense when I talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's either like a couch co-op, like Left 4 Dead when I played survival mode, or it's just like this open world type game.
Yeah.
And Left 4 Dead, I loved it playing that survival mode where, you got 3-4 friends. Or like,
it was a great multiplayer game. It really was.
It is, trying to hordes of fucking zombies coming at you, and
I think if you're looking for local multiplayer games on these kind of lists, Left 4 Dead's gotta be super, super high up there. Like just not even just online multiplayer. I'm talking local multiplayer. You and 3 of your friends.
If you have 3 friends.
A Caesar's pizza and, a bottle of Old Crow.
Don't.
It just stayed up playing Left 4 Dead for just hours, and I could definitely see that. I just didn't play it enough. I liked it, didn't play it enough.
We're gonna have to get it and play it.
Yes.
Talk about it on the podcast.
That is true.
What do you have for number 4?
My number 4 is GTA 4. I kind of followed your same thing with a 4 at 4. I put GTA 4. And again, I just like Liberty City so much. I really do. It has a very New York feel, kind of a cramped, you can get kind of anywhere. You're not really out in the wilderness too much. Everything is just kind of right there. There's a lot of shit to do.
A lot of shit to do, and you have no time to do it because your fucking cousin is always calling you.
Nico, it's Roman. Let's go bowling. Let's go see some big American titties. Cousin, let's go see those big American titties. And they were big, and they were American, and they were titties. Got him again. But yeah, like, I just like the Liberty City layout more than I like San Andreas. That's my cup of tea. I like the more of a New York feel. So that's why I put 4 higher up on my list. I pumped at least 80 to 100 to 200 hours in the GTA 4. Not just storyline. Just going off, just doing odds and ends stuff.
Yeah, that's the beauty of the open world game. You don't have to stick to some linear mission, or you don't have to stick to some linear storyline. Mm-hmm. You just go do whatever the hell you want.
3.
Sticking with the theme of open world games, I have Batman Arkham City.
Ooh, that got squeezed out.
Yeah.
That would have been my number 8. That's on my honorable mentions list.
Dude, I cannot say enough about this whole series. Asylum City, Origins, and Arkham Knight. And they all play so similar.
Mm-hmm.
But yet they're all still really different.
That is true, yeah.
Now, I'm not a big comic book guy, but Batman is probably my favorite superhero. And I really feel like this gives you the feeling of being Batman.
Oh yeah, you beat literally all of his arch nemesis
So many
in the game.
Yeah, so many cool side missions with a bunch of different villains. What really stands out to me with this game is the combat.
It was a different style combat. It really was.
It is so tight and it feels so satisfying.
Once you get the hang of it, it took me a while to get the hang of the combat, and then once I did, the game got a hell of a lot easier. I'll admit.
What hung you up on it?
I think just the ability to, like, basically, I had a hard time trying to like, if I'm being attacked by 8 goons at once, I had a hard time trying to juggle that.
Yeah, but they don't all come at you at once.
Right.
They kind of stand back a little bit and you fight. You jump from one goon to another.
Right.
And that's what, I mean, I really think it's cool.
Yes. I do like that combat style, but it took me a little while to learn it. Once I did, I really, really got into it. So, yeah, I can agree with you there. That got squeezed out.
If you haven't played any of these games, like, seriously, check them out.
Yeah, you've had like 10 to 15 years to play these games. Do it now.
You can't go wrong with any of them.
Exactly.
What you got?
My number 3, I couldn't pick just one. I took the series, but I think the more I look at it, the more I really want to take the just original game. I took Gears of War.
Okay.
That was a 360 exclusive.
That's my honorable mention.
Okay. The original game was super long to play. And I think the biggest thing for me was the shift going from, playing Halo, playing GTA 4, playing Halo and Call of Duty, not necessarily GTA 4 so much, but the concept of a third-person shooter was different for me. And I think that was my first actual third-person shooter.
And that cover system.
In the cover style system.
It seemed a lot more tactical than like a Halo or a Call of Duty.
Right.
In the sense that you are wanting to take cover.
Yeah. You're not just wanting to just blind fire and hope for the best.
But there was one weapon that was pretty OP. Was it the bow? Is that what it was?
The bow was good. If you could use, this was a game that I remember all the Gears of War. The one thing they all had in common was if you could get good at sniping, or you could get good with the bow. Like, you could basically take 6 sniper shots and 6 bow and arrows and basically clear out a room if you were good enough.
I think this is another one that we need to get together and play locally.
Yeah. Now, I will say the storyline for 2 and 3 were super, super, super sad. But the story for Gears of War 1, you were just this badass hero fight against this horde of locusts coming up from the ground. And you're trying to figure out a way to kill them. But the storylines for 2 and 3 were way super sad.
2.
Number 2, we have the same game.
Yes, we do.
Well, kind of.
Yeah.
You put 2 games on there.
Yeah, I rolled 2 into 1 because I couldn't pick, and I feel like I couldn't pick one over the other, and I feel like I didn't want to I didn't want to take up 2 spaces for this. So what did you have at 2?
I have Fallout New Vegas.
I have New Vegas and 3 in this spot.
I love all the Fallout games.
Yes.
Besides 76. Fuck 76.
Yikes. You're going to annoy all 2 people out there that love Fallout 76. Shame on you.
The Fallout games, I mean, they're so similar. I mean, they play really the same. And there's subtle, I mean, the storyline's obviously different, but there's subtle differences between them. Maybe not so subtle. They tweak things from game to game.
Right.
So I don't think you could go wrong with either New Vegas or 3. I chose New Vegas because I just like the feel of the game better. I'm not sure I could really articulate why. 3
was more of a story-based. I totally agree with you. 3 was more of a story-based, kind of everything surrounded the story, where New Vegas there was so much more to do.
Mm-hmm.
But they both, for each of those reasons, made those games great. And then the DLC for both of them was great too.
Have you ever just started a game so many times, you just get sick of seeing the beginning, so you don't fucking play it anymore?
Yeah.
That's how I am with 3.
Really?
Yeah. And I could probably go back and play it now because it's been so long.
It just takes 10 minutes to get through the intro. But yeah, I understand. It is one of my aunt. My aunt tried to play 3 and she said, man, it's just too long to get started. And that was my qualm for the longest time too. But man, once you got into it,
yeah, they're all good games besides 76 again.
Yeah, sorry, all 2 people that liked 76. Yeah, there was so much more that even like Fallout's after like Fallout 4. I think I told you before. I played 85 hours into Fallout 4, made 0 progress on the storyline because I was just going to like, okay, I'm going to focus. I'm going to follow the storyline. Ooh, what's this factory over here? I'm sure there's a bobblehead inside. Take 2 hours to clear that out. Get a bobblehead. Ooh, that was fun. And where there's one bobblehead, I'm sure there's probably more. So it was treasure hunting that was great for me and just doing my kind of own thing.
1.
I spent more time on this game than any other game on 360.
And it was the one you said we were going to revisit, so I know which one it is.
And it was your number 5.
Mm-hmm.
It's Halo 3.
Right.
So many hours we put into this game.
Oh, man.
Hooking up the 2 systems, one in my bedroom, one in the front room.
Mm-hmm. Good times.
Again, the campaign, solid campaign, can't bitch about it. But it's the online multiplayer or the local multiplayer where we spent most of our time.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Again, like I said, I didn't play. I don't even know what the story pertains to, honestly. I really don't know.
I couldn't tell you at this point in time.
No, I can't
It's
either.
been too long. And I probably only played it through it once just to say, I beat it.
Right.
Was anybody playing this game for the story?
I think you did just to know what was going on like once. It was kind of like the Call of Duty. Like you know the storyline once, but yeah, everybody, it's like the Marshawn Lynch. You know why I'm here. You want to play the storyline? You know why I'm here. But the storyline is so great. You know why I'm here.
Dude, there was one night that we had the 2 systems hooked up.
Mm-hmm.
And I think at that time it was 5v5. Or is 4v4?
I think it was 4v4.
Because they switched it at some point, and I don't remember if they went from 4 to 5 or from 5 to 4.
They went from 4 to 5.
They went from 4 to 5. Okay, yes. So when we were playing, it was 4v4, and there was 5 of us.
Yes.
So whoever got in last place would just switch out, and we had the whole squad. All 4 players filled up on our team. We went 15-1. We lost our very last game. Do you remember this?
I was bad at Halo. I was.
Yeah, you were one of the ones that switched out.
I was kind of bad at Halo.
It was me and Justin.
I was better at I was better at Call of Duty Online. I gotta save some face here, but I was terrible at Halo. I was better at Call of Duty.
That very last game, we lost. I think that it came down to the very last kill. And at the time, I was, like dumb teenager, just trying to impress my friends. I think I just played it off.
It ate you.
It was my fault.
All these years. Yeah. All these years. Ouch.
Yeah.
It's getting real.
What's your number 1?
The OG Red Dead Redemption. I still to this day say the first time I hooked it up on like an HD monitor and stepped off the train in Armadillo and just looked around, it was one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. That game is gorgeous. Every detail, everything you can do in that game or not do in the game.
When's the last time you played this?
I played it on stream last year.
Oh, did you? I was going to say, it's probably not so gorgeous anymore.
No, it still is.
Is it?
Yes. And I played around Halloween time, I played Undead Nightmare.
DLC?
Yeah. Well, it's actually its own standalone game.
Oh.
But the difference is, I think you can't... I gotta remember the difference. You can't go to Mexico. Like, they basically trimmed up. Like, basically, they took the entire game and took a big slice. Like, all the stores are closed. So it's more of a strategy style game. But you gotta keep all the territories zombie free. And you gotta basically watch your ammo count because you can't go and buy supplies. Like, money's obsolete because all the stores are closed.
Mm-hmm.
Because everybody basically fucking headed for the hills. But you get achievements for keeping all your territories in check. And you get the 4 Horses of the Apocalypse, which I think are really freaking cool.
That is cool.
Yeah, I mean, that's its own standalone DLC. But just the game overall in general, the game basically just drops you off and says, hey, do whatever the hell you want. And I love that about a game. That's why I loved Fallout 4 so much. Because it's the same thing. Hey, do whatever you want. You don't want to follow the storyline? That's on you. That's why I didn't like Red Dead 2. That's sacrilegious because everybody loved Red Dead 2. I hated it because I feel like it held my hand a lot and it held me back.
I don't think everybody loved Red Dead 2. I liked it. I never played the first Red Dead, admittedly, though.
Oh, like I say, it's number one on my list for a reason.
I remember, back when the 360 was big and you were playing it, like it was your favorite game.
It still is.
Yeah.
I mean, if I go back and look, I mean, it's the only game on this list that I re-streamed like recently within the last year. It's phenomenal. It's still probably the second most beautiful game I've ever played.
So that's our list. Let's jump into the honorable mentions.
Ooh, honorable mentions.
I'll just go over mine really quick.
Okay.
It's nothing really surprising. There's Gears of War.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it's the multiplayer. Then my next three are in the same series as what I had in my list. I have Halo 4, GTA 4, and Arkham Asylum.
Okay.
So I know with GTA 4, I'm like, I wasn't that big on it, but it's still up there on my list.
Right.
It probably falls in the 10 to 15 range.
Sure.
And did I say Arkham Asylum?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, same as Arkham City. Those games are so similar.
Mm-hmm. My honorable mentions, I had Arkham City, which I said it got squeezed out, admittedly. I had Mortal Kombat 9. That's one that I think a lot of people slept on, but it was the first big return to glory for that series in a while. And man, the fatalities were just brutal. Gameplay was smooth. It wasn't just absolute the original. I'm going to bring this conversation full circle. Games that you thought were easy when you were a kid that you played now they think are impossible. Mortal Kombat 2 and 3.
That's a very good one because I feel the same.
Yeah, it's crazy. My reaction time's I'm 31. My reaction time is shit now compared to when I was 12.
I used to love Mortal Kombat and Clay Fighter. Those were my two big.
I never got to Clay Fighters. I never played it.
They're tournament fighters. Is that what you call them?
Right. Yeah. Tournament style.
Tournament style fighter.
Sure. I mean that and Street Fighter and Tekken and Killer Instinct.
Right. Yeah. I guess I play Killer Instinct too. And I like those games when I was younger. Now I cannot stand them because I freaking suck.
It's a reaction thing. It's hard. But I think MK9, I could hop back into it now that I'm older and go back and replay it. But I mean, it's going to take a while, but I can get back into it. I had Minecraft.
Did you play Minecraft?
I did.
Oh, did you?
Yes.
I thought that was just for the kids.
It was super popular, so I was like, I got to try it out. And man, it's wildly addictive.
Is it?
Well, obviously there's people out there with, once you got more into the mods and people were doing just weird off the wall crap with Minecraft, that's when it stopped being fun. Like the OG Minecraft, I think would be fun to just crack out and play every once in a while. Get in creative mode. Basically, the only thing that's limited is your imagination. But again, it was one of those games where I didn't spend as much time building as I did trying to find, dungeons and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So that was one that was high on my list. I had a game that I'm super excited that I think I'm going to bring to the realm for a lot of people. Split Second.
What's that?
It is exactly. It is a game that kind of flew way under the radar, but man, it is gorgeous. It's a racing game. It basically plays like a game show where drifting and point A to point B kind of racing and loop racing. It's kind of like Need for Speed, but it takes place like a game show, and you can trigger explosives on the track.
Huh.
And stuff falling to dig with your enemies that are in front of you. Once you accumulate so many points.
So kind of like a kart racer in that you have weapons. Well, not really weapons. It doesn't sound.
Yeah, basically a weapon, essentially. Yeah, you can trigger avalanches, or you can trigger land mines, or
you have obstacles that you initiate for. You have obstacles that you can use against your enemies.
Yes, and you want to talk about one of the racing games that's not Need for Speed or Forza, that's just a super, super tight racing game. Split Second's where it's at. I had the Sega Genesis collection. I thought that was a cop-out. I almost put it on my top 7. It was a cop-out for me, just because I'm, super old school, and I loved playing the Sonics and the Streets of Rages and the Golden Axes on it.
Mm-hmm.
I love doing that. Then I I also had BioShock. That was a game I didn't get into until I was older. I tried playing it when I was younger. I couldn't do it. Then I got older and played it. Loved it. The original was awesome. 2 was but the original was great. Infinite was okay. Infinite was really it was interesting, but I still like the original BioShock. Just the super twist at the end was awesome.
So we also want to talk about, just really quick, games that maybe we didn't play on the 360.
Yes, I had a couple for those.
BioShock is one of mine.
That's one of yours?
I have it on the Switch, and I'm going to play it. I don't know why. I think I started it, and for whatever reason, I didn't finish it. A couple more that I had were the Mass Effects.
I have Mass Effects on my games to play.
And then Skyrim. Still haven't played Skyrim.
Neither. But again,
we're getting our gamer cards revoked.
No, I mean, you can't. Like, there's going to be games you don't like. If you say I love every single game that ever comes out, I think that gets your gamer card revoked. Like, you got to take a stand somewhere. But I mean, if there's a couple games that are going to slip through, like one I had on here, I have 1 and 2 that I just recently bought, and I'm super excited to finally get a chance to play them. Borderlands. That's one that, like, I feel like you and I played like the quintessential 360 games, and once you got into more
I don't know, man. A lot of people would say Mass Effect, BioShocks.
I guess that the Mass Effects are probably.
Yeah.
I mean, I never played Portal. Let's see. I'm trying to think of anything else. I really didn't get into the Fables. I didn't get into it. I did not like it. I just didn't give it a good try. But again, if I don't like, I'm not really a big Zelda or Final Fantasy guy, so probably I wouldn't like Fable. I mean, I can't really say that, but yeah, like I said, if there's anything that you want to suggest to us, hit us up on Twitter at retro_smashed and let us know, dude, you've got to play XYZ.
Also, check out our Discord server.
Oh, that's right. We got Discord now, don't we? You set that up.
The invite is in our Twitter bio.
Yes.
So I'm new to Discord. Is that how you say it? Discord server? Or did you say channel?
You and your Discord servers.
I'm new to this.
When I was your age, we talked face to face and we liked it. We talked face to face about Richard Nixon on the porch and we liked it.
And with that, Nick, talk us out.
Join us next time when Eric's going to tell us who killed the butler and where and with what. Spoiler alert, it's probably the conservatory with the revolver.
She caught me in the conservatory? Wasn't me.
Got me in all the good conservatory. I have no clue after all these years what he's saying. All right, let's get the hell out of here. See you kids in a couple weeks.